It's 11:30 Greenwich Meridian time. This is GHOne Newsroom. My name is Emmanuel Ejabin. Our top stories this morning. Police Council interdicts 3 senior police officers following involvement in alleged plot to remove the IGP. We'll engage analysts. Still ahead, Ghanaian statesman says Jonah hits hard at professional bodies for failing to speak up against corruption in Ghana. NCCE charges Electoral Commission to address all concerns about the limited voter registration so no Ghanaian is disenfranchised. In sports, Ghana Black Stars lock horns with Central African Republic in a crucial AFCON qualifier at the Papaya Sports Stadium. We are live in Kumasi for pre-match analysis. And elsewhere on the continent, military leaders who staged a coup in Gabon have freed ousted President Ali Bongo Ondimba. We've got details of these stories and many others coming up shortly. Stay with us. You're watching Newsroom here on GHOne TV. The police service has interdicted Commissioner George Alex Mensah, Superintendent Emmanuel Eric JB and Superintendent George Lysander Asari in connection with the audio tape which has become a subject matter of investigation by Parliament. The police in a statement explained that the interdiction is to make way for disciplinary proceedings into their conduct in line with police service regulations. One of the senior police officers indicted in the plot to get Dr. George Ekufudampare removed as IGP made some explosive claims against the star witness in the case, Bugri Nabu, accusing him of setting the officers up as a result of a 400,000 Ghana cedis contract he has to supply boots to the Ghana Police Service. Superintendent George Asari also revealed he met the former NPP Northern Regional Chairman Bugri Nabu at his instance. Superintendent Asari at the committee sitting on Monday, however, refused to speak to aspects of the leaked tape where he accuses Executive Secretary of the President, Nana Asante Bidietu, for failing to provide his boss, that is President Akufo-Addo, with accurate information about the current IGP. He further alleged, just as COP Mensah did, that Bugri Nabu has cut out portions of the audio incriminating to himself, claiming he suggested that the crusade to get the IGP removed must not only be physical but spiritual as well, and consequently asking for some malams to be consulted. Let's now engage a security analyst. Dr. Adam Bona joins us via Zoom on this particular matter. Doc, many thanks for your time this morning. Indeed, you're one of the people who called for the interdiction of the police officers in this probe. Does this come as a vindication of your stance?
Yes, good morning. Yes, I'm not sure whether it will be a vindication. The Police Service Act is very clear when it comes to misconduct. But this is not just an ordinary misconduct. It's a misconduct that even the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana frowns on. And so as far as I am concerned, these officers, if found guilty, I don't want to prejudice whatever they are going to go through, but I am sure it is early days yet. And you heard them giving their testimony. Let's be able to separate the administrative issues, no law, no court is going to make laws to say IGP or CDS or controller of immigration, this is how he does his administrative work. These people allegedly have been involved in a serious misconduct that their own CI, the CI, 76 frowns on. And so as far as I'm concerned, they should have been interdicted the very minute these tapes became public, because their own CI says that you cannot indulge yourself in any political controversy. And when you look at it, what they did was actually asking that make me IGP allegedly so that I will break the 8th. We have to do mafia work. These are people who should never have been in police uniform. And therefore, the moment this leak tape came out, the first thing the police administration, together with the police council, should have done was to immediately interdict them. But they left them. Better late than never. Mine is that the probe should not just end where it is, because what is going on in Parliament is to inquire, to know the severity, whatever they've done. But mine is the police service themselves must let these officers face their own institutional court, which they call the police service inquiry. If they are found not to have done anything untoward, they should let them go. But if they are found to have done something that is frowns on their own service regulation, then they should be punished. And the punishment could go from reduction in rank to being dismissed summarily from the police service. Then afterwards, we can be looking at the other aspect of attempt to the conspiracy to subvert the will of the people. We know that anything to subvert the will of the people will pass for high treason, not even treason, high treason. And so mine is that let's set very good examples, because looking at the politically tense and, high tension atmosphere, if you look at even what is going on within the MPP themselves, it is highly tense. So you can imagine if it becomes MPP NDC. So we need to set examples for the future generation to follow. So as far as I'm concerned, they've raised issues about some boots. I mean, somebody was set up. How can you say you were set up? How can you seen some videos? You've seen videos that I've seen about 10 minutes or 9 minutes video. Does this look like somebody who was set up? Somebody who was saying that the IGP should go by June. Bugri Nabu said no, by August. So are you telling me this is a setup? Bugri Nabu is the one who told him that he should go in June. He was asking the IG to go in June. Bugri Nabu said in what do you call it, August. He said no, then you should let him go. If you want him to remain to August, let him go in 2024. So you can see the inconsistencies and the lies, the flip-flop from these disgraced officers. So as far as I'm concerned, we are watching this.
I am all for making a good example for society, and I'm quite clear on the police regulation as well. But there is something that I want us to look at now. Parliament is currently probing the issue, and as you said, admittedly, the police council should have acted at instance of knowledge of this particular tape, but it did not act. Now that we are seeing Parliament probe this issue, indicting the officers now, are we not jumping the gun? We seem to be having challenges reaching out to Dr. Adam Bona, who is a security analyst, and we have been discussing the interdiction of 3 police officers in the plot to oust the current IGP. There's a tape that has been circulated involving the former Northern Regional Chair of the MPP, Bugri Nabu, where they have made some damning revelations about the police service and then really the activities of Dr. George Dampare. But we have Dr. Adam Bona back now. Doc, I was saying that you have indicated indeed that really the police council should have acted at instance of knowledge of the circulation of this particular tape, but they did not do that. Now we have Parliament probing this tape. Should we not allow Parliament to finish their work before the police council comes in to say this is what we're also going to do?
No. The police, the Ghana Police Service is part of the executive arm of government. Parliament is an independent body. Parliament is also, an institution on its own, and whatever Parliament does, they can do it. And so as far as I'm concerned, once you breach the Police Service Act, the police, together with the police council, can act, which they should have acted long ago. And so what Parliament is doing has no consequence, or, has nothing to do with what the police should do. So as far as I'm concerned, We should be able to divorce the two of them. Parliament is doing its probe, and the probe, the Parliament can recommend that ABCD should be done. But with regards to the breach of the Ghana Police Service Act and the breach when it comes to our own grand norm or our constitution of the Republic of Ghana, these people must face the consequences of that. Apart from that, what Parliament is doing, it's okay for Parliament to do whatever it has to do. We actually even know that if you take the Justice Abia versus the Republic of Ghana, the Parliament took a decision, it went to court, and the court said Parliament is wrong. And so as far as I'm concerned, you know that judiciary is another arm of government, Parliament is another arm of government, the police, which is part of the executive, is part of another arm of government. So independently, they must do their work. If you look at how separation of powers work, but they must collaborate. And so as far as I am concerned, these officers, if you ask me, allegedly did what was wrong, and we are expecting that better late than never, the police council together with the Ghana Police Service have acted. Some of us want to see whatever they are doing, the police service inquiry, they have to let us.
Dr. Adam Bona, many thanks for your time this morning. We seem to have been having some challenges with the network connection there, but Dr. Adam Bona has been sharing his insights into the whole issue of the alleged plot to oust the IGP. As we understand it, the 3 police officers involved have been interdicted by the police council. Away from the security, yes, well, let's speak to a former police officer. He is retired now, and the person of Hamza Yakubu. Many thanks for your time once again this morning. Dr. Adam Bona suggested that the interdiction should have happened at the instance of knowledge of the state. Now it is happening months after. But does it come to you as a surprise?
Come again. He said.
I was asking to you the interdiction. Yes, he said that once the police council was made aware of this tape in circulation, they should have interdicted the police officers instantly. Do you agree with this? And do you find the interdiction coming in now as a surprise?
It's not a surprise in any way. Like we've been made to acknowledge previously that whatever it is that they did amounts to a major offense in the police service regulation, and so therefore could have attracted a decision to interdict. But that was not done. I believe that it was not done much earlier because it should have been by the police administration. But because the head of the police service himself, being the Inspector General of Police, is deeply involved somehow in this matter, it wouldn't have been so nice or appropriate to see him going ahead to have given those orders, because people could read through and perceive that it's an act of vindictiveness or payback time. But now that the police council has been mindful of the fact that they need to do so, I think it's appropriate.
For someone like COP Mensah, he is 1 foot away from retirement. He has served long in the service, spanning over 3 decades. One would ask, shouldn't he have known better where to channel his grievances if he had any issue within the administration of the Ghana Police Service? A lot of commentary out there suggesting that he's even bitter for not getting the position of IGP. What do you make of this?
No, certainly the inference that every reasonable person would draw from the events we have so far seen and heard. So it shows that he is bitter because he did not get the position. He has himself said that he started lobbying for this position since 2017. And if since 2017, and coming from a family, he has acknowledged so, that is UP inclined all his life, and maybe he thinks he has suffered enough loyalty to that village, and nothing, he hasn't benefited from what he expected. It's natural that he could be bitter.
Now, Hamza, many thanks for your time this morning. Let's get back to Dr. Adam Bona. He's still with us via Zoom. Doc, you, in your last position, you did indicate that there should be collaboration between the Ghana Police Service and the Parliament by way of this whole issue. Do you believe Dr. George Ekufu-Dampare should make an appearance before the committee still? We have lost Dr. Adam Bona on this particular matter, but we have engaged him and as well a former police officer and the person of Nahams Yakubu about the interdiction of 3 police officers by the Police Council in the alleged plot to oust the IGP, Dr. George Ekufu-Dampare. Away from that, Chairperson for the National Commission for Civic Education, Kathleen Abia, has charged Ghanaians to vote based on issues that will propel society forward. In an interview on GH Today, she stressed that if individuals vote because they were swayed by money and this results in poor governance, they must also accept some responsibility for the consequences.
When you get up and you go and vote, you must vote based on issues that will actually propel our society forward. Do you understand? So if you go and vote because somebody gave you money, for instance, you're not helping us. If you go and vote because somebody showed up at your funeral, you're not helping us. You're not helping us. You're not helping yourself. If you vote that way and things go wrong, you must take some of the responsibility for things going wrong. So, but people need to be taught that these are the consequences of voting or electing somebody based on these things. These are the consequences. If you take money from politicians and you elect them into office, you have to understand that they're going to have to find that money somewhere, and maybe that money is what could have brought development. That's what would have fixed the road and all of that. There are consequences for all this. So we are very eager to let people understand the mandate, the weight of the opportunity to be able to live in a democracy and have the chance to be part of a decision-making process that brings leaders to help us move our country forward.
The National Commission for Civic Education, NCCE, has also waded into controversies surrounding the limited voters registration exercise to be undertaken by the Electoral Commission. Chairperson for the NCCE, Kathleen Abia, has asked the Electoral Commission to take a decision regarding the limited voters registration exercise that will not disenfranchise qualified voters. She called on the EC to as well address all concerns before the exercise commences.
Setting up IPAC was to try and resolve some of these things, and come to an arrangement that is suitable for everybody. For that to happen, the concerns that are raised by all the stakeholders must be taken on board. And I hope that eventually we will come to that point, because the way I see it is not a concluded matter yet. There's still discussions and talk about it. Of course, we are concerned if Ghanaians are not able to go and register. In every election cycle, the public education we do, we have a special education that we do for new voters, for people who have just turned 18, for people who will be exercising their mandate for the first time. To that extent, we really hope that the final decision that will be taken will make it easy. Will make it easy for the majority of people who have not registered to vote to go out and vote, particularly young people. Because as you know, if you look at the demographics, young people are beginning to constitute the bulk of the population, and we cannot afford to have them disenfranchised. The future is theirs. They must make these decisions. They must start taking this responsibility early on. They must understand their responsibility towards the state, just as they must understand their rights as well. So it is our hope that whatever the conclusion is, it is one that ensures that as many or majority or all the people who are eligible to register to vote are able to do that comfortably within their means.
The Presidential Elections Committee of the NPP has acknowledged receipt of the withdrawal of former Trade Minister Alan Kwadwo from the flag-bearer race. The committee says it has accepted the resignation and is expecting more information about his regrettable decision. Here is spokesperson for the Elections Committee and Deputy Majority Leader in Parliament, Alexander Afenyomarkin, addressing journalists after the sit-in yesterday.
We've also received the withdrawal letter officially by Honorable Tremantin, and the party has accepted the withdrawal without prejudice. So far, those who have concerns have brought the concerns to us. Mr. Chairman, for the time being, hasn't said he's not a member of the party. He hasn't said so. So now that we've received his withdrawal letter, we will now wait for him to bring us some additional information, if he so desire, to furnish us with additional information regarding some of the concerns that he has raised. So we are waiting.
Amate is a political scientist, and he joins us via phone to have a conversation on this. First off, let me ask you, would you agree to schools of thought that Alan withdrew from the race, perhaps to save himself from disgrace come November 4? Can you hear me? We seem to be having challenges with the phone lines reaching out to Amate, but as indicated to you earlier, Alan Tremontin, he withdrew from the MPP flag bearership race. He had less than 100 votes in the Super Delegates Conference, which happened some weeks ago, with an expectation that he would contest in the November 4 primaries of the ruling MPP. But he has said that he is withdrawing from the race. He issued a statement some days ago citing some issues within the party that he believes is disenfranchising him, and he has said that he will not contest in the elections come November 4. This is the second time we are receiving news of Alan's withdrawal in the party. The first was in 2007, and the second being now in 2023, ahead of the general elections in 2024. Many have had suggestions as to why he withdrew and what next lies ahead for the Alan campaign team, but he indicated in paragraphs to a statement, the last but one, where he said that indeed he will make disclosures on what steps he will take next in the coming days as regards to whether he will leave the party or stay. But let's have a conversation on this with Amate. As I told you earlier, he is a political scientist. We are grateful that you have joined us. First off, would you agree to schools of thought that Alan withdrew from the race to save himself from disgrace come November 4?
Thanks for having me. I think this is becoming too much. I mean, 2007, Alan walked away. This time around, he's also backed off. Is he a bad loser? Well, it's left for us talk about that and to analyze that. But it is not a good thing for him to have, walked away, in the sense that this is going to take a huge thing from the NPP party. And I think they should work it out. I am of the view that rather than some of the commentators and spokespersons for his opponents in the current race raising issues and giving him jabs as to why he had, for instance, yesterday I heard Titus Glover mentioning the fact that he supports Bawumia, and he was talking about the fact that Alan withdrew because he knows he was going to waste money, and then he knew he wouldn't make it. I mean, you don't talk like this because you still need to build those bridges. And I don't think it's fair for the way the commentary is going. I think they should go back and woo him back. He might have stated a few things being the reasons why he dropped out, but I don't think that is enough. For instance, if we have how many constituencies, and then you just cited one instance of your agent being molested, I don't think that's enough for you to just walk away. How many constituencies do we have? So I think rather than they giving him a job, I think they should rather be considerate enough and conciliatory enough to bring him back, have a chat with him.
Now, Amate, and indeed the party, as we listen to Deputy Majority Leader Alexander Fenyumark, and they are waiting for notice as to whether he's even going to resign from the party. In 2007, he served notice to resign, but he contesting now is indicative of the fact that, well, he didn't resign from the party. But then the real question is, in 2007, when there seemed to be a seeming move away from the party, cracks were in the party. Now we are seeing evidence in the Super Delegates Conference, some unhappiness. Kennedy Ejapon says you give the president a showdown. We are here to see his apology. Now we are seeing Alan also withdraw from the race. Is this going to deepen the seeming cracks within the umbrella party?
Well, you should expect some of these things. I mean, if you watch National Geographic, and I'm very much an avid watcher of National Geographic, you find out that when the tigers or lions go out there, the lions, and they get their prey, there's mostly some fight amongst them.